All right, shalom. This is Khanak Anbar Yasha Allah from the GMS Lions in Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakakudash Ma'ama. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the occupant that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, I was watching video that the elder reposted of Apostle, the elder Lions Den Harawan reposted of Apostle Tahar's video on Pastor Tyler from Valiant Baptist Church right here in Jacksonville, Florida, where we are. Um, his take on the black Hebrew Israelites. And Apostle Tahar, excuse me, I'm kind of under the weather. Apostle Tahar went into the fact that why would Yahweh send Yahweh Shai down here in this glorified body, right? And send him with leprosy. Because Pastor Tyler feels that Yahweh Shai, well, he doesn't believe in Yahweh Shai, he believes in sweet baby Cesare Borgia, is a so-called white man. All right. So when the Apostle of the Heart made that point, I went in and I was thinking, well, yeah. And for the Passover, and the Passover represents when we were delivered out of Egypt, right? And the death angel, which was Yahweh Shai, came through and killed all the firstborn of the Egyptians, right? And passed over the children of Israel, is to be a lamb without blemish. So for that sacrificial lamb and that sentence for this, all right, it shall be a lamb without blemish. Okay. So how can and Apostle Hart brought the fact that how, leprosy is a curse and leprosy would be a blemish. And first thing he was talking about was blemishes in the skin. And so I just want to land back off of that a little bit. Lord willing, it's edifying and it serves its purpose. All right. First thing I want to get is Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. It says, because this is a point that Pastor Tyler the Wicked said that when it was talking about the hairs and on Yahweh Shai's head, it wasn't talking about the texture, it was talking about the color. And it says, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes as a flame of fire. All right. Now, he was given the texture and the color of the hair. So, with that being said, why did he say white like goat? Goat hair is stringy, but you still got white goats running around here. But he's white like wool, like white woolly textured hair. And how white was it? As white as snow. All right. So he gave a description of the texture and a description of the color right there, all in that same verse. All right. So going on to the topic really that I'm talking about is the sacrificial lamb. Okay. All right. So I want to get Exodus chapter 12, verse 5, and it says, all right. Well, it's like I'm kind of under the weather. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. All right. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. this is the point. It says, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. All right. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. The whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. All right. So that lamb that was taken for the Passover, all right, which initially led to the deliverance of the children of Israel, was a lamb without blemish. And as Apostle Tahar was explaining in his video, right, that leprosy is a curse and a blemish. So with that being the case, if Yahweh Shai was a leper or looked like had lighter or white skin, all right, he wouldn't be considered, right? He wouldn't be considered to be able to be the sacrificial lamb, because the lamb has to be without blemish. All right. All right, let me keep going. It says, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and the upper posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. So we're eating of that lamb today by sitting down at a table and supping with Yahweh by Shem Shai, and we get covered in blood and we represent those doorposts. All right, because we're covered in, like we cover the doorposts in the blood. All right, we're covered in the blood, which is the covering of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right. All right, so all right, skip down to verse 11. Um, it says, and Exodus 12 and 11. It says, and thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All right. So basically, we spiritually gird our loins with truth today, right? And hasten the day of the coming of the Lord. So we eat the word, consume the whole roll, right? Because pretty soon Yahweh Shai is going to come through and smite Egypt again, which is America. All right. All right. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. It says, verse 10, it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. All right. So putting on your whole armor, like girding yourself with truth, right? So because at the end of the day, the devil know he have but a short time, right? So he's seeking whom he may devour, man. So just like we ate in haste at the Passover, right? We're girding ourselves and eating in haste of this word, man. All right. Verse 12, it says, for I will, if Exodus 12 and 12, it says, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the powers of Egypt will I execute judgment. I am Yahweh. All right. It says, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, all right, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. All right, and we represent those doorposts because we're covered in the blood of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and being covered in the blood is what gives you that the wall, that mark. Let me get Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, Shlakia. All right. All right. This is Ezekiel 9:4. It says, "And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry, that sigh and cry, that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." And what is that talking about? Well, in these times, it's talking about going to midst through the four corners of the earth, because Israel, Jerusalem was the people before it was placed, and we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And we're the ones out there on the highways and byways sighing and crying for the abominations that are done in the midst that we see day in and day out. So with that being said, that's what covers us in the blood, the ones that are doing it in truth. All right. So, and that blood is the truth. All right, and we become without blemish because we become sacrificial lambs, because Scripture says to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. Matter of fact, let me get it. Because Romans, all right, this is Romans 12:1. It says, "I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service." And Shlak. All right, so we're supposed to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. And so if we present our bodies as a living sacrifice, then we ought to be, um, spotless and blameless, without blemish also. Um, this is First Peter 1:19. It says, but the precious blood of Yahweh Shai, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you, who by him do who by him do believe in Yahweh, that raised him up from the dead and gave him glory, that your fame and hope might be in Yahweh. All right. So that's how we become without spot, blemish. Really having this truth, man. Makes us without what I'm saying, without blemish, as we're presenting ourselves as our bodies as a living sacrifice, because we're covered in the blood of Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right. So for Pastor Tyler from Valiant Baptist Church, right, saying that Yahweh Shai would be a so-called white man, that's morally wrong according to the scriptures, because leprosy is a blemish. All right, I'm gonna get this scripture real quick before I close it out. Leviticus. Let me just go to Leviticus 13. All right, and it says, all right, it says, let's start at 1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or a bright spot, and if it be in the skin of his flesh like a plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto the Aaron the priest, or unto one of the sons of the priest." All right, and it's going to show you that leprosy was a punishment. It was a punish. Yahweh used leprosy as a punishment. All right, this is Numbers chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous white as..." Wait, hold on. Let me start up a little higher. Numbers 12:7 says, "My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in mine on all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then ye are not afraid to speak against my servant Moses." So basically, they were speaking up against Moses about dealing with that Egyptian or Ethiopian woman, one of them, and the Lord was basically saying, like, I done made him like a god to these people, and you're not afraid to talk to him any kind of way. Like, are you for real? And it says, "And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us where we have done foolishly, and where we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of the mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O Yahweh, I beseech thee." So, like, having pale, no nothing, no coloration, just skin, just no color to the skin, as a stillborn baby. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying, just white. All right, and that was a curse. So why would Yahweh let the Lord come down here on the earth looking cursed like that? And that was the same curse that he put on Cain, man. All right. And I'm gonna close it out with that. That being said, I say, Kyle Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem HaRakakodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and salutations to the archon that are pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.